Roy Orbison was a performer whose music was electrifying, yet whose presence on stage was curiously static. Why? It is a little-known fact that Roy Orbison's musical inspiration often stemmed from the tragic events in his life, and this is what made Roy's musical style so different from other artists. George Harrison of The Beatles famously remarked on this unusual demeanor, stating, "Roy Orbison never even twitched. He was like marble." Therefore, to understand Roy Orbison's music better, don't miss his tragedies. Orbison's voice was his most potent instrument, a powerful and versatile tenor that could convey a wide range of emotions, from the depths of despair to the heights of elation. Elvis Presley, no stranger to vocal prowess himself, once lauded Orbison as the greatest singer in the world. This was high praise coming from the king of rock and roll, and it underscored the unique quality of Orbison's talent. His ability to deliver songs with such emotional depth and technical skill made him a standout figure in an era teeming with musical giants. However, there is a truth that Roy was crippled by stage fright. His start as a performer was not an easy one. His journey to becoming a music icon was fraught with challenges, and his shyness initially posed a significant obstacle. However, it was this same shyness that ultimately became a defining element of his act, shaping his unique persona and musical style in ways that resonated deeply with his audience. Orbison's signature look, characterized by his darkened spectacles and his still, almost statuesque presence on stage, was born out of necessity. The dark glasses initially adopted to help him cope with his fear of performing in front of large audiences became an iconic part of his image. They provided a sense of separation and protection, allowing him to hide behind a mysterious facade while his voice did the talking. This visual barrier helped Orbison manage his anxiety and gave him the confidence to step into the spotlight. His stock-still stance, another hallmark of his performances, was similarly rooted in nerves. Unlike many of his contemporaries who thrived on energetic stage antics and crowd interaction, Orbison's motionless presence was a stark contrast. Yet this stillness drew audiences in, creating an air of intense focus and vulnerability. In a time when rock and roll was dominated by flamboyant and dynamic performers, Orbison's understated approach set him apart, making his performances all the more memorable. Orbison's shyness and stage fright found a profound outlet in his songwriting. He poured his vulnerability into his music, crafting songs that defied the era's conventional notions of macho masculinity. In an age where rock and roll was often about bravado and rebelliousness, Orbison's songs delved into themes of heartache, longing, and emotional turmoil. His lyrics were introspective and tender, offering a stark contrast to the more aggressive and carefree attitudes prevalent in the genre at the time. Despite his unlikely beginnings, Roy Orbison's star rose to rarefied heights shortly after he was signed to Monument Records in 1960. With his ethereal voice and emotionally charged songwriting, Orbison quickly distinguished himself in the music industry. His rise to fame was swift and meteoric, transforming him into an icon whose influence extended far beyond his initial audience. Orbison's breakthrough came with a series of hits that showcased his distinctive blend of rock and roll, pop, and orchestral arrangements. Songs like Only the Lonely, Blue Angel, and Crying catapulted him into the limelight, earning him widespread acclaim. These tracks were characterized by their lush, dramatic soundscapes and Orbison's soaring vocals, which could convey heartache and longing with unmatched intensity. His ability to blend vulnerability with musical sophistication made him a standout artist during the early 1960s. As his popularity grew, Orbison became an unlikely sex symbol. Unlike the typical rock stars of the era who exuded overt charisma and flamboyance, Orbison's appeal lay in his enigmatic presence and deep emotional resonance. His dark glasses, somber expression, and motionless stage demeanor created an aura of mystery that intrigued fans. This unique persona, combined with his powerful voice, made him an object of fascination and admiration. Orbison's influence extended beyond his own performances. He became an inspiration to songwriters and musicians, who were captivated by his ability to infuse his music with such profound emotion. His innovative approach to songwriting, characterized by complex structures and dramatic narratives, set a new standard in the industry. Artists across genres looked to Orbison as a model of how to balance commercial success with artistic integrity. Elvis Costello, among others, hailed Orbison as the greatest, underscoring the deep respect and admiration he commanded within the music community. Costello's praise was echoed by many contemporaries and successors, who saw Orbison as a trailblazer who pushed the boundaries of what popular music could achieve. His ability to blend rock, pop, and orchestral elements into cohesive, emotionally charged compositions left a lasting impact on the music industry. However, Orbison's rapid ascension was soon checkered by personal tragedies, beginning in late 1964. In 1957, Roy Orbison married his sweetheart, Claudette Frady. Their union was a testament to youthful romance, with Claudette just 17 and Roy 21. They were deeply in love, and their marriage seemed to promise a bright future. However, as Orbison's career began to take off, their relationship faced unexpected challenges and pressures that would test their bond in profound ways. The pressures of fame and the frequent separations began to strain their relationship. Orbison's rising star attracted the attention of fans and the media, adding to the stress. Claudette, who had married a young man with dreams of making it big, now found herself married to a superstar with all the complications that entailed. The whirlwind romance that had brought them together was now thrust into tempestuous territory as they navigated the complexities of life in the spotlight. By 1964, the cracks in their marriage had become more pronounced. Reports of Claudette's alleged infidelities surfaced, adding to the tension between them. The strain proved too much, and in November of that year, Orbison and Claudette divorced. The dissolution of their marriage was a difficult and painful decision for both of them, especially given the love they had shared and the life they had built together. However, the story of Roy and Claudette did not end with their divorce. Despite the hurt and betrayal, their bond was not easily broken. Within 10 months, they had reconciled their differences and found their way back to each other. Their reunion was a testament to the deep affection and connection they still shared, a recognition that their love was worth fighting for despite the challenges they had faced. Their second chance at love was marked by a renewed commitment to their relationship. They endeavored to rebuild their lives together, finding strength in their mutual support and understanding. Claudette's return to Orbison's side provided him with the emotional stability he needed amidst the chaotic world of rock and roll. For a time, it seemed they had overcome the obstacles that had once threatened to tear them apart. The reconciliation of Roy Orbison and Claudette Frady in 1965 marked not only a personal renewal but also coincided with a significant professional turning point for Orbison. Shortly after reuniting with Claudette, Orbison made a strategic move that would shape the next phase of his career. Leaving Monument Records, the label that had propelled him to fame, Orbison signed a groundbreaking $1 million deal with MGM Records. This lucrative contract was a reflection of his immense popularity and the industry's recognition of his talent. The deal with MGM promised Orbison not only financial security, but also opportunities to expand his horizons beyond music. As part of the agreement, Orbison would have the chance to delve into the film industry, an arena he had long admired. This transition was not just about diversifying his career, but also about finding a more balanced lifestyle. The relentless touring that had characterized his time with Monument Records had taken a toll on his personal life, contributing to the strains in his marriage. The new contract with MGM allowed him to reduce his touring commitments, providing him with more time to spend at home with Claudette. With this newfound time, Orbison and Claudette were able to rekindle their relationship and pursue shared interests. One of their greatest passions was motorbiking. The couple often indulged in this hobby, finding joy and freedom on the open road. They weren't just casual riders, they took their passions seriously, participating in races on racetracks and embarking on extensive motorbike tours around the world. These adventures provided them with a sense of escapism and adventure, a way to bond and create new memories together. Their shared love for motorbikes was a testament to their adventurous spirits and their desire to live life to the fullest. They rode together across various landscapes, from the scenic roads of Europe to the expansive highways of America. These journeys were not just about the thrill of the ride, but also about experiencing the world together, hand in hand. It was during these moments that they found a respite from the pressures of fame and the challenges of their past, embracing the simplicity and exhilaration of the open road. However, tragedy struck on June 6, 1966, a day that would forever alter the course of Roy Orbison's life. While returning home on their motorbikes, Claudette Frady, Orbison's beloved wife, collided with the door of a pickup truck. The impact was fatal, and Claudette was killed instantly. The sudden and devastating loss of Claudette plunged Orbison into a deep well of grief and sorrow, shattering the renewed happiness they had found together. In the wake of this tragedy, Orbison sought solace in the only way he knew how, through his music. In an attempt to cope with his overwhelming grief, Orbison threw himself into his work with an intensity that bordered on obsessive. The studio became his sanctuary, a place where he could channel his pain and sorrow into creativity. He spent countless hours writing new songs, recording, and touring. Music became both his refuge and his means of processing the immense loss he had suffered. His songs from this period are imbued with a profound sense of longing and melancholy, reflecting the deep emotional wounds left by Claudette's death. The times were changing around Orbison as well. The mid-1960s saw the rise of new musical trends and the advent of the British invasion, which brought a wave of fresh sounds and styles to the forefront of popular music. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and other British bands were revolutionizing the industry, and the landscape of rock and roll was shifting rapidly. Amidst these changes, Orbison's traditional style of lush, orchestrated pop rock began to seem out of step with the prevailing trends. Despite the changing musical tides, Orbison remained steadfast in his artistic vision. He continued to create music that was true to his unique style, even as the world around him evolved. Reflecting on this period later in his life, Orbison remarked, "I didn't hear a lot I could relate to, so I kind of stood there like a tree where the winds blow and the seasons change, and you're still there and you bloom again." This poignant metaphor captured his resilience and determination to stay true to himself, regardless of the shifting currents in the music industry. During this time of endless working hours to little avail, Roy Orbison found himself increasingly distanced from his family. The relentless cycle of recording sessions, studio work, and world tours consumed his life, leaving little room for personal time with his sons. His dedication to his craft, driven by the grief of losing Claudette, had turned into a ceaseless endeavor to channel his sorrow and maintain his career. However, this came at a significant personal cost, as the demands of his profession kept him away from home more than he would have liked. The summer of 1968 saw Orbison embarking on yet another extensive tour, this time taking him across Europe. Despite the challenges and changing musical landscape, he continued to perform with the same intensity and emotional depth that had always characterized his work. His music, filled with themes of heartache and longing, resonated deeply with audiences worldwide, even as it reflected his personal struggles. In September 1968, while performing in Birmingham, England, Orbison received devastating news that would once again shatter his world. A fire had broken out at his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The blaze, which had spread rapidly, claimed the lives of his two eldest sons, Roy Orbison and Anthony King Orbison. The boys, aged 10 and 6, were unable to escape the inferno. The news of the fire and the loss of his sons reached Orbison while he was thousands of miles away from home, rendering him powerless to do anything in the immediate aftermath. The tragedy was a devastating blow, compounding the grief that had already deeply marked his life. Having already lost Claudette just 2 years prior, the death of his children plunged Orbison into an even deeper abyss of sorrow. The immediate aftermath of the tragedy was a period of profound despair for Orbison. The loss of his children, coupled with the distance from his remaining family, created a sense of isolation that was almost unbearable. His grief was compounded by the guilt of not being there to protect his sons, a burden that weighed heavily on his heart. The pain was overwhelming, and for a time it seemed as though the darkness might consume him entirely. In the midst of this dark period, Orbison's life took a turn towards a semblance of healing when he met Barbara Jacobs. The two quickly developed a deep connection, and in 1969 they married. Barbara became a source of comfort and stability for Orbison, offering him the emotional support he desperately needed. Her presence brought a ray of hope into his life, and together they began to rebuild a family. The couple would later have 2 children, adding a sense of renewal and continuity to Orbison's life. Despite this personal renewal, the weight of his grief severely hampered Orbison's ability to work. The emotional toll of his losses made it difficult for him to summon the same level of creative energy and focus that had characterized his earlier career. Music, which had once been his refuge, now felt like an insurmountable challenge. The pain of his personal tragedies seeped into every aspect of his life, making it hard to find joy or motivation in his work. During this time, the music industry continued to evolve. The late 1960s and early 1970s saw the rise of new genres and trends, from psychedelic rock to the burgeoning sounds of disco and punk. These changes further distanced Orbison's traditional style of orchestral pop rock from the mainstream. While his contemporaries adapted to the new sounds, Orbison found himself struggling to keep up, his once bright musical star beginning to fade. The combination of personal grief and professional challenges created a difficult environment for Orbison. His recordings during this period, though still marked by his distinctive voice and emotional depth, did not achieve the commercial success of his earlier hits. Albums like Roy Orbison Sings and Memphis received mixed reviews and modest sales, reflecting the struggle to regain his footing in a rapidly changing industry. Despite these setbacks, Orbison's commitment to his craft never wavered. He continued to write and record, driven by a deep-seated love for music and a desire to honor the memories of his lost loved ones. His perseverance in the face of adversity was a testament to his resilience and strength of character. While his commercial success waned, his ability to convey raw emotion and vulnerability in his music remained undiminished. Despite the harrowing personal losses that marked the latter half of his life, Roy Orbison experienced a significant revival in the 1980s, a period that saw both a resurgence in his popularity and a profound reappraisal of his work. This revival was driven in large part by his involvement with the Traveling Wilburys, a supergroup formed in 1988 that included some of the most iconic musicians of the era: George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne. The group's collaborative spirit and mutual respect for one another's talents created a unique and compelling sound that resonated deeply with fans. The Traveling Wilburys' debut album, Traveling Wilburys Vol. 1, was a critical and commercial success. Released in October 1988, the album featured a blend of rock, folk, and pop, with each member contributing to the songwriting and vocals. Orbison's distinctive voice, with its rich emotional depth and operatic range, stood out on tracks like Handle with Care and Not Alone Anymore, reminding audiences of his extraordinary talent. The success of the album brought Orbison back into the spotlight, reintroducing him to a new generation of listeners and reaffirming his place in the pantheon of rock and roll legends. In the autumn of 1988, Roy Orbison was on the cusp of a major career resurgence with the completion of his solo comeback album, Mystery Girl. The album marked a significant moment in Orbison's career, bringing him back into the spotlight after a period of personal and professional challenges. Mystery Girl was co-produced by Jeff Lynne, who Orbison regarded as the finest producer he had ever worked with. Lynne's production brought a fresh yet respectful approach to Orbison's classic sound, incorporating contemporary elements while preserving the essence of what made Orbison's music unique. Orbison's collaboration with Lynne was particularly noteworthy because of Lynne's reputation for his meticulous production work and his successful track record with other high-profile artists. The synergy between Orbison and Lynne was evident in the polished, vibrant sound of Mystery Girl, which resonated with both old fans and new listeners. The album featured contributions from a range of esteemed artists, including Elvis Costello, Bono, and Orbison's own son, Wesley Orbison. These collaborations added a dynamic and eclectic touch to the album, showcasing Orbison's ability to blend his classic style with modern influences. Around the same time, Orbison was also grappling with his health. In November 1988, he confided in Johnny Cash that he was experiencing chest pains, a sign of the physical toll that the relentless pace of his comeback was taking on him. Despite these health concerns, Orbison continued to immerse himself in his promotional activities. His schedule was hectic, filled with interviews and appearances designed to support the release of Mystery Girl and capitalize on his renewed visibility. Orbison traveled to Europe for a series of high-profile events, including the Diamond Awards Festival in Antwerp, where he was honored with an award. The trip was significant not only for its accolades but also for its role in promoting Mystery Girl. During this European visit, footage for the music video of You Got It, one of the album's standout tracks, was filmed. The song, with its catchy melody and heartfelt lyrics, was emblematic of Orbison's return to form and became one of his most iconic hits. The demanding schedule of interviews and appearances began to take a toll on Orbison's health. During one of the final interviews of his European trip, he was struck by a severe headache, a sign of the stress and exhaustion he was under. Despite his condition, Orbison pressed on with his commitments, demonstrating his dedication to his work and his fans. Orbison's commitment to his performances was further evident when he traveled to Boston for a show at a local club. Even though he was visibly unwell, a manager at the venue noticed his pallor and expressed concern for his health. Nevertheless, Orbison took to the stage and delivered a performance that received a standing ovation from the audience. His ability to perform with such passion and dedication, despite his health issues, was a testament to his professionalism and love for music. On December 4, 1988, Roy Orbison took the stage at the Front Row Theater in Highland Heights, Ohio, for what would become one of his final performances. The show was a significant event, part of his efforts to promote his latest album, Mystery Girl, and it underscored his enduring commitment to his craft even as he faced mounting exhaustion. Orbison's performance was a testament to his dedication and resilience, showcasing his ability to deliver powerful and emotive music despite the physical and emotional toll of his recent years. The Front Row Theater show was notable not just for its artistry, but also for the context in which it occurred. Orbison, having recently completed an intense schedule of promotional activities for Mystery Girl and the Traveling Wilburys, was clearly feeling the strain. His schedule had been relentless, with back-to-back interviews, performances, and appearances that left him physically drained. The Highland Heights concert was an opportunity for him to connect with fans and celebrate the successful revival of his career, but it also highlighted the physical limits that even a legendary performer like Orbison faced. Following the concert, Orbison returned to his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, seeking a brief respite from his hectic schedule. The period of rest was crucial, as it allowed him to recover from the exhaustion of his recent tour and promotional activities. Hendersonville, with its serene environment, offered a temporary sanctuary where he could recharge before diving back into his demanding career. However, the respite was short-lived. Even as he sought rest, Orbison was preparing for another round of high-profile commitments. Soon after his return home, he was scheduled to fly to London to film 2 more videos for the Traveling Wilburys. These video shoots were part of the promotional campaign for the group's successful debut album, Traveling Wilburys Vol. 1. The videos were an essential component of the group's marketing strategy, helping to further cement their presence in the music industry and maintain the momentum of their newfound success. The transition from rest to travel was abrupt, and Orbison's health remained a concern. His exhaustion was evident, but his dedication to his work drove him to continue fulfilling his commitments. The London trip was an important milestone for both his solo and group projects, and despite the physical toll it took, Orbison remained focused on delivering high-quality performances and maintaining his public profile. Looking ahead, Orbison was booked to tour the U.S. and Europe in the following year. The planned tours were a testament to his enduring appeal and the strong demand for his live performances. They represented a continuation of his comeback and an opportunity to reach audiences around the world with his new music and classic hits. The tours were anticipated to be significant events, reflecting the success of Mystery Girl and the Traveling Wilburys, and offering fans a chance to experience Orbison's celebrated live performances. On December 6, 1988, Roy Orbison spent what would tragically become his final day engaging in simple yet cherished activities. He began the day in the company of his bus driver and close friend, Benny Birchfield, with whom he spent time buying parts for model airplanes, a hobby that Orbison enjoyed and found relaxing. The camaraderie between Orbison and Birchfield was evident, and these moments of normalcy provided a respite from the demanding schedule that had marked Orbison's recent resurgence in the music industry. Following their excursion, Orbison joined Birchfield and his wife, country star Jean Shepherd, for supper at their home in Hendersonville. The evening was a chance for Orbison to unwind in the company of friends, enjoying a meal and conversation in a warm, familiar setting. The visit was a reflection of Orbison's close-knit relationships and his appreciation for the simple pleasures of life, away from the pressures of his career. After the meal, Orbison made his way to his mother's house, where he spent some time with his son, Wesley. This visit was a moment of personal connection and familial bonding, underscoring the importance of family in Orbison's life. Despite the ongoing demands of his career, he valued these moments with his loved ones, cherishing the time spent with them. However, the evening took a distressing turn when Orbison went to the bathroom and did not return. After a prolonged absence of about 30 minutes, his family grew concerned and went to check on him. Tragically, Orbison was found collapsed on the bathroom floor. Immediate action was taken, and an ambulance was called to rush him to the hospital. The urgency of the situation underscored the gravity of his condition. At the hospital, medical staff worked diligently to address Orbison's health crisis. Despite their best efforts, he succumbed to a heart attack at the age of 52. The news of his passing was met with profound shock and sadness from fans, friends, and the music community. Orbison's death was a stark reminder of the fragility of life, occurring just as he was experiencing a significant revival in his career. Orbison's sudden passing left a void in the world of music and in the hearts of those who knew him. His final day, spent in the company of friends and family and engaging in activities he enjoyed, was a poignant contrast to the high-profile nature of his recent work. It was a day marked by both the simplicity of everyday life and the harsh reality of his untimely death. Following Roy Orbison's untimely death, a series of memorials were held to honor his remarkable life and career. The public's outpouring of grief and respect highlighted the profound impact Orbison had on those who knew him personally, as well as on his fans around the world. The first memorial was organized by Jean Shepherd, a close friend and wife of Orbison's bus driver, Benny Birchfield. This service took place on December 11, 1988, at the College Heights Baptist Church in Gallatin, Tennessee. The church, located in the area where Orbison had lived, provided a poignant setting for the gathering of friends, family, and fans. The memorial was a space for those who knew Orbison and admired his music to come together, share their grief, and celebrate his life. The presence of his friends and family, including fellow musicians and colleagues, underscored the deep connections Orbison had made throughout his life. The service was a touching tribute to his legacy, reflecting both the personal and professional impact he had on those around him. Just a few days later, on December 13, 1988, Barbara Orbison, Roy Orbison's widow, organized a celebration of life event at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. This memorial was attended by an array of friends, celebrities, and fellow musicians, highlighting the widespread recognition and affection for Orbison. The Wiltern Theater, with its elegant Art Deco design, provided a fitting backdrop for a tribute to an artist of Orbison's stature. The event was a celebration of Orbison's contributions to music and his influence on the entertainment industry. It featured performances and tributes from some of the most notable figures in the music world, reflecting the high regard in which he was held. Despite the grandeur of these memorial services, Orbison's final resting place was marked by a profound simplicity. His body was buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in Los Angeles. The decision to place Orbison in an unmarked grave was a reflection of his desire for privacy, even in death. The absence of a grave marker stands in contrast to the public and elaborate tributes held in his honor, highlighting Orbison's preference for modesty and his reluctance to seek undue attention. The choice of Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery as Orbison's final resting place was significant. Located in the heart of Los Angeles, the cemetery is the final resting place of many notable figures in the entertainment industry. The cemetery's serene and dignified atmosphere provided a quiet, respectful place for Orbison's remains, reflecting the reverence with which he was regarded. Roy Orbison's posthumous album, Mystery Girl, was released on January 31, 1989, by Virgin Records, and it quickly became a landmark in his career. The album's release was a significant event, not only because it showcased Orbison's final studio work, but also because it became the highest-selling album of his career. The impact of Mystery Girl was a testament to Orbison's enduring talent and the powerful resurgence of his music following his death. One of the most prominent tracks on the album was You Got It, a song co-written by Orbison, Jeff Lynne, and Tom Petty. The song exemplified Orbison's classic sound while incorporating contemporary production elements that appealed to both old and new audiences. You Got It achieved remarkable success, reaching number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the United States and number 3 on the UK singles chart. The song's success was a poignant reminder of Orbison's extraordinary vocal abilities and his ability to connect with listeners across different generations. The success of You Got It and the album as a whole earned Orbison a posthumous Grammy Award nomination, underscoring the critical acclaim and recognition that his work continued to receive even after his passing. The nomination was a fitting tribute to Orbison's legacy, celebrating his contributions to music and the lasting impact of his artistry. Rolling Stone magazine praised Mystery Girl for its blend of Orbison's classic sound with modern production techniques. The magazine noted that the album cloaks the epic sweep and grandeur of his classic sound in meticulous modern production, capturing the essence of what made Orbison great while also presenting it in a contemporary context. This evaluation highlighted the album's role as a fitting valedictory for Orbison's career, encapsulating his unique style and emotional depth in a way that resonated with both longtime fans and new listeners. In addition to the success of Mystery Girl, Orbison's involvement with the Traveling Wilburys further solidified his legacy. The group's debut album, Traveling Wilburys Vol. 1, released in October 1988, spent 53 weeks on the U.S. charts, peaking at number 3. The album's success was a testament to the collaborative spirit and musical synergy between Orbison and his fellow Wilburys, George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne. Traveling Wilburys Vol. 1 achieved international success, reaching number 1 in Australia and number 16 in the UK, and won a Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance by a duo or group. Rolling Stone included the album in its list of the top 100 albums of the decade, further cementing its significance and impact on music. On April 8, 1989, Roy Orbison achieved a remarkable milestone in posthumous recognition, becoming the first deceased musician since Elvis Presley to have 2 albums simultaneously in the U.S. top 5. Traveling Wilburys Vol. 1 occupied the number 4 spot, while Orbison's own Mystery Girl was at number 5. This rare achievement underscored the profound impact of Orbison's music and the widespread admiration for his work, even after his passing. The simultaneous presence of both albums in the top 5 reflected a unique confluence of Orbison's enduring legacy and the renewed interest in his music. The success of Mystery Girl and Traveling Wilburys Vol. 1 was a testament to Orbison's lasting influence and the high regard in which he was held by fans and critics alike. Mystery Girl, released shortly after Orbison's death, was his final studio album and showcased his distinctive sound and emotional depth. The album's commercial success was a fitting tribute to his career, demonstrating the continued relevance of his music. The Traveling Wilburys debut album, Vol. 1, released in October 1988, also enjoyed significant success and showcased Orbison's collaboration with some of the most prominent musicians of the era. The album's success was a testament to Orbison's ability to integrate seamlessly into a group of music legends, adding his unique voice and style to the collective creativity of the Wilburys. In the United Kingdom, Orbison's posthumous success was even more pronounced. On February 11, 1989, Orbison had 2 solo albums in the top 3 of the UK albums chart. Mystery Girl was at number 2, and a compilation album titled The Legendary Roy Orbison held the number 3 spot. This extraordinary achievement highlighted Orbison's enduring popularity and continued appreciation for his music across the Atlantic. The visual representation of Orbison's posthumous work also reflected his lasting legacy. The video for the Traveling Wilburys hit single Handle with Care was filmed while Orbison was still alive, capturing his participation in the project and showcasing his collaboration with the other members of the supergroup. However, the video for End of the Line was released after Orbison's death. In a poignant tribute, the video featured Orbison's guitar placed in a rocking chair next to a framed photograph of him during his vocal solo parts. This visual tribute was a moving representation of his presence and influence, even in his absence. On October 20, 1992, the album King of Hearts was released, further expanding the catalog of Roy Orbison's music. This album featured previously unreleased tracks and was part of the ongoing efforts to celebrate and preserve Orbison's legacy. King of Hearts included material that reflected Orbison's distinctive style and songwriting prowess, continuing to build on the posthumous appreciation of his work. The release was a testament to the enduring interest in Orbison's music and the desire to bring previously unheard aspects of his artistry to his fans. In 1996, the album The Very Best of Roy Orbison was released, providing a comprehensive overview of Orbison's career. This compilation was designed to encapsulate the breadth and depth of his musical journey, from his early hits to his later successes. The album served as a definitive collection, offering fans and new listeners alike an opportunity to experience the full range of Orbison's contributions to music. It documented his evolution as an artist and highlighted the iconic moments of his career, solidifying his status as a major figure in the history of popular music. After Roy Orbison's death, his estate was managed by his wife, Barbara Orbison. She played a crucial role in preserving and promoting her husband's legacy through Roy Orbison Enterprises. Under Barbara's management, the company released various albums and maintained the integrity of Orbison's artistic vision. Barbara's stewardship ensured that Orbison's music continued to reach audiences and that his contributions to music were celebrated appropriately. Barbara Orbison's passing in December 2011 marked a significant transition for the management of Roy Orbison's estate. Following her death, the responsibility for overseeing the estate and its associated projects was taken over by Orbison's sons, Alex and Roy Kelton Jr. The transition to the next generation of Orbison's family highlighted the continuing commitment to preserving and honoring their father's legacy. Alex and Roy Kelton Jr. took on the task of managing the estate with the same dedication that Barbara had shown, ensuring that Orbison's music continued to be celebrated and enjoyed by future generations. In 2014, a notable release connected to Orbison's legacy was the demo of The Way Is Love, which was included as part of the 25th anniversary deluxe edition of Mystery Girl. This track, recorded on a stereo cassette player around 1986, represented a rare glimpse into Orbison's creative process. The demo featured Orbison's vocals, along with contributions from his sons, who added instrumentation to the track. The production of the demo was overseen by John Carter Cash, further connecting the project to the broader legacy of American music. What do you think about the tragedies that Roy Orbison went through? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.